Hello, this is Dandy Reiner from Hatchfinder's Fly Shop in Livingston, Montana. Today I'm working on royal trudes. I thought I'd show you how I tie those. For the shop I tie them in 16s, 14s, 12s, and 10s, sometimes even a size 8 if I'm fishing in Yellowstone National Park. It's a classic fly pattern. It imitates a caddis, stonefly, drake, a terrestrial. It's a great pattern, really versatile, and it's known to be a fly that works very well when there doesn't seem to be much hatching. So this is a size 12 right here I'm working on. I'll put my hook in the vise. You'll want a thread base about down to the hook point. The tail is golden pheasant. There's the feather right there. Really pretty. And what I do is I just simply bunch it up, place it right on top of the hook shank, and I tie it in right above the band of the feather. And I'm going to bring my thread all the way down the hook shank, snip off the excess, bring my thread back down to about the hook, in between the barb and the point. The body of this fly is Peacock Hurl. I have about 6 strands of Peacock Hurl here. I'm going to tie that in. I'm going to put my thread right about at the hook point. And with this Peacock Hurl, I'm using my hackle pliers here, and I'm going to make a rope by twisting the Hurl. You don't want to twist it too hard, otherwise the Hurl will break. And I just come around and start my wraps. And then I'll wrap my thread as if to tie it off, but I'm not going to tie it off. I'm going to let it hang out there. The next step is to tie in my red floss. And I just take a strand of floss, wrap it around my thread. I come around, tie that down really well. Bring my thread forward a few wraps, and I'll start wrapping with this red floss. I'll go ahead and tie that down and snip off the excess. And I'll go ahead and resume with my Peacock Hurl body. Right above the red floss. Just a few wraps. And I'll go ahead and tie that off, snip it off here. So there's my body. The next step is the wing, and I'm using tan calf tail. A helpful trick I've noticed is to use some fly tire cement with the applicator brush. I'm going to put just a small little smear right where I'm going to tie in my wing. This helps hold that wing down. And I'm going to cut a piece of calf tail about the diameter of a pencil, maybe 3/4 of a pencil in diameter. And I'm going to pull off the under fur here. I just kind of flick it off with my fingers like so. And then I'm going to pull out any wild hairs at the ends. Kind of make the wing a little bit blunt, like so. Place it right on top the body. Tail is lined up with the wing. I like the wing to be about the length of the tail. And I'll go ahead and put in a good few wraps. I'm using an ultra thread in 140 so I can cinch that down. I'm going to snip off the excess calf tail hair, and I'm going to use a lot of thread here and really cinch that wing in, because there's nothing worse when you have a good fly with a lousy wing. So don't be afraid to use several wraps and really cinch it down with your thread. So now that that is in all nice, I'm going to put in my hackle. And I have a pro grade whiting cape here. It's brown. Here's my little feather. You can use your hackle gauge. So this fly here is a size 12. This feather is about a size 14. You can go heavy hackled on this fly. Tie that in dry fly style, so the pretty shiny side of the feather is pointing back towards the tail, and the dull concaved side is facing the eye of the hook. You can place another little smear of Zap-A-Gap on there, or fly tire cement, just to cinch it all in, and I'll make my wraps. Okay. I'll pull the little hackles back a little bit, and I'll go ahead and tie this off. Make a nice little head there. Take my whip finisher. Not too difficult at all, just takes practice. A lime Trude is tied in the exact same way, except you use a fluorescent chartreuse for the lime. I've seen these tied with orange floss. That looks really nice too. Interesting story about this fly. It was created by a gentleman named Carter Harrison. He was a guest at the A.S. Trude Ranch outside of Big Springs, Idaho, and he tied this fly as a joke using the red yarn from the rug in his cabin and the hair from a Cocker Spaniel. He tied it as a joke, and somebody used it and had success with it, and it's been a classic pattern ever since. Royal Trude.